Do, 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 do. Good morning, Kitty Coo. How are you? Welcome to this morning's coffee brew. I hope you had a wonderful week. Gayla, Kevin Brand, Gemma, good morning. Hello from Sacramento. Well, hello from Washington State, Gayla. Samantha Mustard McDowell. Well, it's been a long time. I'm here in the background with my family. Well, Samantha, good morning. All the way from Ireland, the motherland. I hope you had a wonderful week. Kevin Brand from South Carolina. You need a cheery face? There's a cheery face, Gemma. Francie, good morning. Good morning to everyone. As you may see at the top of the actual comments section, I can't get into my Google Documents right now. So I'm going to have to do the crime recap just by my notes. And I'm not even sure, they're not even complete. So I tried logging in this morning to it, and it kept on telling me that my password was incorrect. Then I tried again, and I tried so many times, and then I try to do the restore, and it didn't work. And I guess I'm locked out from 5 a.m. this morning until 5 a.m. tomorrow morning, 24 hours. So we'll see, but I can't get into it right now. So again, I'm going to have to just do the recap by my notes itself that I had written down before I put them into Google Docs. Google Documents. I hope everybody else, and I hope I didn't miss anybody. Hope everyone had a great week. Thoughts on Leslie Van Houten? Not looking good. Haven't followed it a lot. I followed the Holloway, case, but guilty if I have to say. Definitely the extortion. So, all right. Well, I've got one page here of notes that are two-sided. So let's go ahead and jump into the first one. The first one is Amber Heard. Maybe you all remember Amber Heard, the actress, former wife of Johnny Depp. Her insurance company has decided that they don't want to pay the actual settlement that Johnny was given. They are raising two reasons why. Neither are substantiated at this point, but they don't believe that they should have to pay the actual settlement itself. So they're suing Amber because they don't want to pay the actual settlement. I mean, what insurance company likes to pay out? In case you're not familiar with what insurance is, and I don't know how you could be, not familiar with it. Insurance companies are not there for you or for me. It doesn't matter what kind of insurance it is: auto insurance, health insurance, life insurance. It doesn't matter. They're there for the stockholders. They will do anything and everything, and this is all insurance companies. They will find a reason to not want to pay out on a claim. But anyways, the insurance company is suing Amber Heard. A couple of things that have been rumored online, again, these are not substantiated, is that she hid assets from the insurance company. And as one of the reasons why they supposedly are, I can't substantiate that, that's the reason why they are saying that they don't want to pay it. And the other is because the jurisdiction of the actual case and where it was actually tried and where the verdict was given out. Of course, both of those are unsubstantiated. We'll have to wait until to see the actual lawsuit itself and the actual filings on what their reason is for not wanting to pay. Are they digging up bodies all over Long Island? I'm getting to that, Francie. Next one is the Long Island serial killer. A gentleman by the name of Rex Humerman, age 59, has been arrested in the Long Island serial killing case. Now, you might see it as the Lilla or the Gill, there's different names of different beaches where the bodies were recovered, but they believe all of them are connected at this point. But right now, Rex Humerman, 59, who is an architect, has been charged with the murders of Melissa Bartholomew, Megan Waterman, and Amber Costello. Those three are, he's definitely been connected to, and they've linked him with DNA evidence that was found on the remains of those three victims, along with the partially eaten slice of pizza that he had discarded. On top of it all, regardless, there is something that is seriously sick about this man. If you look at the actual court filings itself and his internet search history, there are some really disturbing things that he was searching for. I'm not going to get into them. A lot of them are really graphic. But let's just say a lot of it has to do with a 10-year-old little girl and things that people want to do to a 10-year-old little girl, a sick, disgusting individual. This is his internet search history. How is that connected to the serial murders? Did he do anything to his own daughter? Was she 10 years old at the time? But that's out there. And it remains to be seen if there is a connection between what he was actually searching for on the internet and the actual serial crimes. Are there young victims as well? We don't know. A lot of it is really early in this case, but Rex Huerman, an architect again, and he lives in a really crappy home. You'd think an architect would have a much better house than this guy did. Age 59, has been charged with it. But at least they finally have found somebody to connect to the missing and those who they've actually found buried in the Long Island serial killer case. So that's a good thing. In that, good morning, Pippadot. Welcome to this morning's coffee brew. All right, next one is Josh Duggar. Josh Duggar. I made a video about this past week about Josh Duggar. There have been several reports that have come out that said that the FCI, Seagoville Penitentiary, does not have air conditioning for inmates, and that Josh Duggar and his fellow pedophiles that he is housed with in his housing unit don't have a way to cool down. I'm here to make sure that everyone, again, in case you didn't see that video, understand that that is a falsehood. The original part of the prison, now, let's just imagine, there's a square box right here. This is the original part of the prison. It was built in 1932. The two outbuildings to the left and right were built in 1932 as well. Josh Duggar is in the last housing unit in the last wing up here at the top. And then over here to this side, reverse this because of the way the camera is. So this side is actually this side. But over here is the low minimum work camp is on this side. So to give you context, if you're looking at it from over above, the work camp is over to the right-hand side if you're looking at it from above. But Josh is in this unit up here. His unit has air conditioning. It's a newer unit that was renovated in, I think, 1987, 1988. It doesn't mean the air conditioning unit that is there is from then. Additionally, they have what's called portable units that they can bring into the day room. Those are the ones that have you plug in and they have an exhaust hose that goes out of a window. They have those as well. Additionally, all the outbuildings, the education, classrooms, the classrooms that they use for, sex offender aversion program, the work areas, all of them have AC units that are either in the window or they're built in. They have actual, AC condensing units themselves. So the reports about Josh Duggar suffering because of the heat, it's not really a story, but it's all over the internet that him and his fellow pedophiles are suffering through this heat wave right now because they don't have air conditioning. Unfortunately, Josh Duggar does have air conditioning, and he is being very well cared for right now. So that's it for Josh Duggar. And again, that is pretty much the end of my notes. I can't get into my Google Docs to see what the rest of them are and what the rest of the cases are. But now I'm going to check the comment section. You struggle this week with your content, Gemma? Oh, it's all right. We all go through that phases where things are hard to come up with content and to make content. I on a given week, Gemma, I may shoot 10, 15 videos and release two, maybe three if I'm lucky. It's the making the content, shooting the content, editing it, and then getting it up on YouTube. And it's hard for everyone. You're not alone. And we also, everybody out there also goes through, we go through phases, and this is for anybody in any walks of life. Maybe you don't even do YouTube. Maybe, it's somebody, completely different than yourself. But the mental part of it is something that you have to deal with as well, and burnout and having to give yourself time. If you need to take time for yourself, do it, because you're going to the detriment to yourself by pushing yourself even farther and harder when you're not ready to make the content is going to do more to damage to you than it's going to be good of getting the content out. So again, take your time. If you need to take a couple weeks off or a week off or a day or whatever it may be, do so. Purple, good morning, Purple. Welcome to this morning's coffee brew. I hope you had a wonderful week. I'll be listening and working. All right. Don't forget, Purple, you never know who's going to be standing next to you or knocking at your door next. Da-da-da. He built a body count. I'm guessing we're talking about the Long Island serial killer. It's terrible they don't have air conditioning. Don't think a lot of people are really worried about it. But according to the comment section on that video and what I've been getting as comments on all social media, Twitch and on Twitter, Facebook, I would say an overwhelming majority, about 90%, don't give a rat's ass if he has air conditioning or not. That's just the nicest way to put it. A lot of people are more graphic, you could say. How many people did the Long Island guy kill? Wasn't one a little boy? I am not 100% sure about that, Francie, and nor do they have a complete body count right now. There are more missing women than there are actual bodies that have been found. From what I read that I remember off the top of my head. Yeah, I've got a content. I'm struggling to keep my eyes looking at the camera. a side effect, obviously, of autism as well, Gemma. So that's playing into it as well, and I understand that. Again, don't push yourself any harder than you have to. Give yourself time. Getting eye contact comments is getting overwhelmed. If you need to, Gemma, turn the comment section off. Trust me, I never would have made it this long and have been this successful if I read the comments and took everything that people said to heart. I know that is so easy to say and so hard to do, but you have to remember there are people who are sitting on the other side of a keyboard who don't care about you. They don't care about me. They don't care about anybody else out there. They only want to say what they want to say, and they have no repercussions for what they say. So just remember when it comes to the comment section on your videos and other videos that you may see on the internet, take it with a grain of salt. Do not take it to heart. If someone is going to ridicule you about your eye contact or your weight or your hair color or that you are an Elvis Presley fan, don't take it to heart. You have to just brush it off. And I know, again, I'll say it again, and it's a lot easier said than done, but you have to find a way to just let it go, and not let it get to you. Yeah, those who are going to be supportive of you are going to be there over and over again, and they're going to be there, and they would never say something to hurt you, ridicule you, or put you down. You have to understand that. And those who are out there who say things like, hey, you're not looking at the camera, you're not giving eye contact to me, they obviously don't understand your barriers into making the content if they say something like that. So please, with a grain of salt. No flash, but he knows his stuff. Just a creator and his camera. I love that. Good morning, Mary. Welcome to this morning coffee brew. I hope you had a wonderful week. Something to talk about. Good morning. And you just continue to move forward no matter what these people put in the comments, because there are bad people out there. There are, and a lot of people out there. Yeah, well, I'm not. I posted a comment on and a poll on my comment section about that, Mary. Um, you can go there and answer the poll, leave a comment if you want. I'm purposely not talking about that actual creator and what they did. Other than that, I'm bringing up the question and making people aware of what happened with that creator, and what they did. I personally find it deplorable, disgusting, um, but that's just me. And I posed a question: when is enough? Where do we draw the line? And how far over that line are we allowing people to step over it for views, for content, for money? And it was all of those, all of it. Gina Marie, good morning. And do not pay attention to these. Just go ahead and delete the bad comments and block them so you can't comment again. I have probably blocked in 5 years. I've probably blocked maybe a handful of people. Um, I give people multiple, chances to either follow along, get with the program. But where I draw the line is when they attack other people in the comment section, or they say something in the comment section that is ridiculous to the point where they're trying to persuade someone of what they believe the truth is. And even after warning them, they won't stop. That's the only time that I've ever blocked someone. I understand blocking someone, is it's needed, but I just ignore them after a spell. I'm like, I'm just not going to, bother to read your comments or reply to your comments anymore because all I'm doing is what my wife, and a friend of mine who's been a mentor of my content, in my channel, it told me really early on, you're always going to hear from those who don't like you. You're always going to hear from those who have nothing but negativity to throw your way. And by feeding into it, you're just feeding them to want to continue the cycle. So I just ignore them. I found it's worked the best for me. That and my moderators, do an awesome job. They attack with their keyboard. That is true. What is your channel name so I can go subscribe to it? To somebody, drop a Gemma's link. I can't leave the stream right now to post it. You're that Gemma. You should be able to post it yourself. When I ran a true crime channel on YouTube, Will was one of my guideposts. Oh, thank you, Mary. I appreciate it. You should get back into it. You never know. Everybody has a voice, and an opinion, that they can share with other people. Maybe it's something just, a local story. Even if you just do it once a month, or twice a month, keep the community going. You never know. There are people out there who probably want to listen to you. Even if you never get the subscriber count and a number, a stupid plaque to put on the wall. All that is just Chotsky stuff. I don't base my value, and what my value to the community on, something I can hang on the wall. I mean, sure, I could get all of that stuff if I wanted to, but I don't. I have no desire to do that. My desire is to make sure that the truth, gets out there, and I tell it in a respectful way, and always, pay attention and respect that, that the victim is number one and that the perpetrator is far down the list. They're not the person that should be held on a pedestal. And so many people want to just dive into that side of it. It's never going to be right. Your update Watts on Watts? Oh, thank you. All right. I'm going to post it. Give me a second. I have to open up a couple other pages here to get back to my dashboard. Hopefully it doesn't play the audio. I thought you were. Why are you not a moderator, Gemma? I said, 1 second. Where's the inner P's? She's so quick at this. There it is. All right. There you go, Gemma. This is Gemma's channel. That's not what I wanted to post. I said, damn it. Well, see, I told you I'm terrible at this stuff. All right, here we go. Now, there's Gemma's channel. Ta-da! See, I can do this stuff. All right, now go back. I'm still on the other page. Can't see the comment section yet. Please hold on. comments. No. Settings. There we go. All right, Gemma, you should be able to post your own link now. I have added you as a moderator to my content. Will, did you make breakfast, Francie, other than a pot of coffee? No. My wife is making breakfast this morning. Dee Dee, good morning, Dee Dee. Welcome to this morning coffee brew, Dee Dee. I hope you had a wonderful week. Thank you for joining us this morning. Ooh, Janet's frying chicken. Interprise is probably waiting in the ocean to get out of this California heat wave. Probably. This heat wave right now, I mean, it's only 8 o'clock in the morning where I am right now, and it is already 83 degrees. It's going to be a hot one again today. Can't wait till Monday when your new oven arrives. Oh, is your hubby still not getting any cookies? Still not being able to make your anything? I'm sorry, Gayla. And macaroni salad before that. Ooh, that sounds good. Fried chicken and macaroni salad. I was going to do a barbecue today, but because I've got the in-laws and and outlaws of the family who are coming to into town today. Some of them arrived late last night, and the rest of them are arriving to later on today and this evening. Because tomorrow, ladies and gentlemen, is my son's birthday. He turns the big 7 years old tomorrow. It goes like that. And you out there who have children, in a blink of an eye, 1 minute, they're learning to crawl. Next minute, they're asking for the car keys and your credit card. That's a joke. I mean, but they're asking for your car keys next. They're 1 minute. It's just blink of an eye. You'll get some cookies Monday night. There you go. Yep. Taco turns 7 years old tomorrow. Oh, thank you, Kitty Coo. Gemma, you're something to talk about. You're on your way to Chicago. Interesting little tidbit about Chicago. What is Chicago called? Chicago is called what? What is their nickname for Chicago? Does anybody know? Your granddaughter turns 12 yesterday. Wow. I'm just surprised that I never gave it to you before, Gemma. I don't know why. I hadn't. I always thought you did. So Pipitot, Windy City. Absolutely correct. Chicago is called the Windy City. But do you know why Chicago is called the Windy City? Windy City, Windy City. Yep. That's what my husband said. I never been anywhere except for Texas and Oklahoma and went to Tennessee once, but that's it. So I'm going. AK Murder City. It is. Wrestler Mania. Good morning and welcome to this morning's coffee brew. Because it's windy, says Francie. Gianna Marie, because it's windy. Get my little fact sheet out here. I actually have the answer to this question. Where's it at? Okay. And Chicago is called the Windy City, and it has nothing to do with the weather. It was a slang that a reporter came up with about politicians, that they were windbags. Windbags, yeah. And that's how, all the politicians within Chicago, they called them windbags. And then it translated from that to, they started to call in Chicago the Windy City. It has nothing to do with the weather. I didn't know that until I came up with these are video ideas that I have on my other channel. CDXI now. CDXI is the Roman numeral for 411. So that's another channel that I run. CDXI now. They eat a lot of baked beans. That's funny, wrestler. You never knew that, Pippa Dot? I didn't either. You guys want to hear another little tidbit one? Kleenex. Everybody knows what Kleenexes are. You use them when you have a runny nose, or you may use Kleenexes to remove your foundation or your makeup. Kleenex. Do you know what the original purpose of Kleenexes were? I feel like most people, including film newsmakers, don't know that. I've always heard used in a friendly manner. Ginger, good morning, Ginger, and welcome this morning's coffee brew. Kleenex, but did anybody know what Kleenexes were originally meant for? The original intention of Kleenexes, the facial tissue. Francie's going with TP. Glass cleaner, says Dee Dee. Good morning, says Ginger. Got my coffee. Got my coffee too. Kleenexes were used to clean glasses. All right, Kleenexes. Now, a little tidbit about Kleenexes. Kleenexes, it started before World War I. Kleenexes were invented to be a more economical way to make a filter for gas masks in the military. That's what the Kleenexes were originally invented for. And they were a stiffer, harsher material. They weren't soft, but that's what they were invented for, was a cheaper, economical way as a filter for a gas mask. After World War I, the Kimberly-Clark company redeveloped Kleenexes to make them softer, and then started marketing them as a facial tissue. Kleenexes. That's how we got Kleenexes that we have today, that are sold in, not only by, probably just about every company out there that makes paper towels or toilet paper or whatever. They make, Kleenex, some kind of Kleenexes. But Kleenex is an actual brand name. But of course, in popular culture, we call all facial tissues, and you look at it and you say that's a Kleenex, but that's an actual product name. I got a whole bunch of these. You guys want another one? One more about cell phones. Now you're getting PTSD. Oh, I'm sorry, Gayla. Did you got gassed with pepper sprayed? I've been pepper sprayed. It ain't fun. Another one? All right. Now, so you know that there are two major types of cell phones that are out there. You have your Android phones, and then you have your Apple phones. All right. So there might be 15 different varieties of Android maker. People who are on the Android phone, cell phone market. And then there's Apple, and only Apple makes Apple products. Which one do you think actually tests their cell phones with a robot that is the shape of a butt? A butt, the gluteus. But one cell phone manufacturer, either Android maker or Apple, which one do you think tests their cell phones with a robot butt? Apple or Android? Pip Dot going with Apple. No, you got pepper sprayed and training, no mask. When I was in the service, we got gassed, and then we also had to be pepper sprayed later on. Wait, what? Okay, Francie, there are two different types of cell phones. You have your Android devices, and a million different companies that make Android devices. All right, that run on that platform, and then you have Apple. And Apple only makes Apple cell phone devices. So you have Android and you have Apple. One of the two makes has a robot butt. It's a butt. All right, and they use that to test their cell phones. Which one is it? Android or is it Apple? Which one uses a robot to test their actual cell phones? A robot butt for what? I'm going to tell you in a second. Why would they do that? And it says Mary and going with Apple. Mine was CN, CS gas, mace, and pepper spray. Wow. Yeah, I don't think I want to ever do any of that ever again, Gayla. I can understand why you would not want to do it. Ginger is going to guess Android. Think it has less accidental dials with Android. All right, I'll give you the answer. The answer is Android, and has nothing to do with butt dialing on a cell phone. Every single Android device, cell phone, must pass the durability test it's called the butt test. They had put a pair of blue jeans on this robotic butt. It's shaped like a butt, and they put the cell phone in the back pocket of the actual pair of jeans on this robotic Android, the thing that sits down, gets up, sits down, gets up, sits down, gets up. It must pass the durability test. It must be able to do it 15 times without ever breaking the screen. Apple does not use a robotic butt to test their phones to see if they will last through the durability test of sitting, because people put their cell phones in their back pocket. I don't know. I see a lot of women who do this. I've never seen a lot of men who've done this, but they put their cell phone in their back pocket. But every Android device that has ever been released must pass the actual butt test, where Apple has never done it. Even my own butt can't make a call. But yeah, it has nothing to do with butt dial. It's a durability test. Every single Android device ever made has had to pass the butt test. Like I said, I've got a whole bunch of these that I've got, stacks of them, that are over here that I, little tidbits that I put up on that my other channel, CDX. Good to know. I never would have imagined that, that any cell phone company would have something like that. You would think that they wouldn't care if you broke your phone because you're just going to buy another one or buy another, screen or whatever. My brother-in-law, Apple phone, but dialed me yesterday. Did it? I have had this happen to me where I always put my cell phone in my front right pocket, and I used to put like a lighter in my pocket, and I've had that, actually, just in be walking or whatever in that dial, but I've never butt dialed anybody. Is it true Apple phones are the only ones that can't be hacked? That is absolutely false, Francie. It's just not as prevalent as the Androids. And there's a reason for that. The reason is there's so many different Androids out there who run on the Android, platform. And there are, if they hackers wanted to, they can hack an iPhone. But the problem is there's only one manufacturer, one set of vulnerabilities on the iPhone. So yeah, it's just like any other Apple device. They're harder to hack. There's less viruses because they only have that one company who's making that one device for them. Where, on the other side of it, Android and stuff like that, there are millions of companies who are on the platform where they're adding their own vulnerabilities. But Apple, all Apple products are hackable. Any hacker worth a grain of salt can tell you it's easy to get into an Apple product. It's just not as prevalent, even though there are more of them out there. In certain things like it's easy to hack. And a lot of people know this, especially for the iPods and the iPod shuffles. You could get into those ones, and it wasn't that hard. All you had to do was get into the cloud server that way. And that's their vulnerabilities that have been out there that Apple has known about, but they just didn't care if somebody stole all your music or your books or whatever you had, uploaded to the cloud. They just don't. They're like, you know what? It's going to happen. My chair, I got to oil its chair. It's squeaky. Sorry about that. I just noticed that. And it's Sprinkled Donuts. Good morning. Love the name, Sprinkled Donuts. Any computer is hackable. A phone is basically a small computer. It is. In this little device right here, I'm holding in my hand. I never in my life, when I was a teenager, young adult, would have dreamed that this thing would have more computing power than the entire computer lab at my high school and, well, community college where I first went. There's more computing power in this than there is in that entire computer lab. And that's unbelievable. I mean, you have to think though, but when I was, in high school and college, we had the 286, then the 486 and the 686 computers. We had the Apple One, and stuff like that, and the Franklin computers, which was a clone of the Apple, the Commodore computers out there. But there's no joke. I mean, there's more computing device, power in this than there is in an entire tower of, computers back then. Guess that's kind of dating, just how old, I am. Good morning, Cement Shoes. Welcome to this morning's coffee brew. I hope you had an excellent week. You overslept? Yeah, it's all right. We're going to go for about another 10 minutes here, and then I have to wrap this up because my wife has already, messaged me that breakfast is ready, and I'm hungry. I grew up in the 60s and 70s and 80s. These were not even in our minds. No, no. I'm going to agree with you. I mean, this is kind of an example, but the first cell phones were about as big as this styrofoam block. I mean, maybe a little bit smaller, but not by much. The first cell phone I ever had was a Qualcomm. It was a brick, and then I upgrade. I thought I was super cool. I upgraded from that brick to a Motorola that was a giant brick itself, and then I'll fast forward about 6 or 7 years, and we went to the Motorola Razr, the flip phone. The flip phone. Yeah. And we thought that was the coolest thing in the world. You could text people on a Motorola's, flip phone. Wow. And then I went to BlackBerry for quite a few years after that. I loved my BlackBerry. I mean, I wish they still, I could still get one on any network, out there. I know BlackBerry's still out there. I just wish they had that functionality of the BlackBerry. There's certain things that I miss about it. But now with these smartphones, I never would have dreamed that something like this was even possible, to even have in your pocket, the entire world at your hands. But those were the days. That reminds me of Archie Bunker. Those were the days. Archie and Edith sitting at the piano, the at the beginning of the Archie Bunker show, All in the Family. You were 11 years old. The first phone was a Motorola flip phone. I pick up my son from school sometimes. A lot of times he rides the bus, but because he loves the bus. He absolutely loves the bus. Your first phone was a rotary dial and a party line. Same here, Galen. Our home phone was a party line. Our actual phone number was only 4 digits. That was our home phone here where I live. And the way that the phone would ring at the house, you knew if the call was for you, for your home. And as teenagers, though, we used to slowly pick up the line, and you could sit and listen to other people. I know that I know that's wrong, but I mean you're dumb, a dumb 13-year-old, 12-year-old. Love the bunkers would never be allowed today. Oh hell no, sprinkled donuts. Now and I watch some of the reruns now, and it's like, wow, yeah, none of that would be allowed. Like you said, song the hit parade. Oh, those were the days. Your phone number was 4 numbers. Yep. It's kind of different from where I live, though. A lot of the phone company and everything else is still vastly controlled by the U.S. government. Emily, good morning. Rita knows she wrote the Bundy book while working right next to him. Uh, was that Anne Rule or Anne Rice? I always get the two mixed up. Who worked with Bundy at the suicide hotline? She was on assignment to write about his crimes. Is it Rule? I think it was Rule. Anne Rule. Privacy is still an issue with phones. Yeah. Meathead. Yeah, Archie Bunker's son-in-law, Meathead, and his daughter was Gloria. Anne Rule. I'm going out with my uncle for supper meal in a little while at the seaside. Oh, that sounds like fun, Gemma. I hope you enjoy your time. I've me and my between me and my wife, we've probably read every book that Anne Rule and Anne Rice have ever written. We've always been prolific in reading horror mysteries and crime novels. So I know we've read them all. I mean, here in my studio, I have Ridley Pearson. Love Ridley Pearson. Bentley Little. I think that's the only ones I have out here. Oh no, Hunt for the Spokane Serial Killer. I mean, obviously, I'm into that. Dialed popcorn to get the time. The old. That's the old rotary dial. Man, did we feel like we were moving up in the world when we went from rotary dial to touch boop, 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 home phone? My sisters had I think it had to be at least a 15-foot cord on that thing, so they could talk on the phone and sit at the dining room table at the same time. The curly Q, landline. Record some footage at the seaside. You do that, but just remember, to relax, enjoy your time. Got time, and you end. Take care, everyone. You too, Emily. I am about to end this in about 6 minutes. I haven't watched it yet. I promise I will. Go pick out your phone. Uh, that had to be after the Ma Bell breakup. If you could go somewhere to pick up your phone. Now, when I was younger, before the Ma Bell breakup, the only place to get a phone was from Ma Bell, and I don't know if this was everywhere else or anywhere else for that matter, but we had to rent our phone. The phone was actually the phone we had in our house was actually property of the phone company, and we had to pay a little bit extra on every single monthly bill for the actual phone. Now, of course, that changed. I think it was in the late 70s, 80s after the Ma Bell breakup, because I remember my sisters all had like these clear phones, that had pink and light blue, pastel colors inside of them. But the home phone that we had before then, I believe we rented. I'm not sure if that was anywhere else, but we did here. I'm getting my first Social Security check next month. Can't wait. Wow. Well, congratulations on that, Mary. The cat. Greetings from Northern Ontario, Canada. Good morning, the cat. I hope to be able to retire someday, but yet at the same time, I don't think much of my life would ever change. GTE phone marts. Hmm. We had no place to go buy a phone. I mean, that changed a lot in the 80s. You could go in the 80s, you could go to Kmart and buy a phone off the shelf. But before then, though, in my memory, we had no choices when it came to actual home phones. But I don't know if that was anywhere else except for here. I think I'm avoiding it because I'm scared. I'm scared of what? What? Oh, going to look into the trial. Oh, okay. Pacific Bell was all you had. There was a time here, Gala, where because I live in a government town. The entire reason for the town to be here is because of the U.S. government. But if you had to pay your power bill, your water bill, your phone bill. All of it was you had to go to the actual government office. The there's so many different offices are here. We called it the federal building because all of it was like the federal government. But you went there and you paid for everything, all in one place. And then they started to break things up and move things to the city. You had your power bill and your water bill was separate from your phone bill, but everything was all in one office that you went to go pay for it all. I mean, it was greatly subsidized by the government. You know, a lot of things got a lot more expensive after that, but the U.S. government, yep. Greetings. Scared of the serial killer in Grand Rapids, Michigan, or Grand Rapids. You could go there and pick up phone books and a phone. Yeah, they still deliver phone books here, but they don't have white pages. They only have yellow pages. At least where I live, there are no white pages listed in the phone book anymore. Just yellow pages. I don't know if they've done away with the white pages everywhere, but they definitely have here. Only a business. It's a business directory now, basically. But you can also pick up the yellow page book at just about every convenience store has a little display where they put them in around here. So in case they don't deliver them to your actual home itself. A monopoly. Yeah. Well, the government still controls so much of where I live. Um, I mean, it wasn't that long ago. They didn't have a stated written curfew, but they had one when everybody had to be indoors. You just couldn't be out, otherwise the police would harass you, stop you, question you. Why are you going anywhere at all? Wait to get into Suzanne Powell, such a sad nutcracker husband. Totally insane. Feel horrible for her parents. They had to know about him forced to share custody. Hmm. Susan Powell. Not familiar with that one. Better in California where you live? Well, that's a good thing, Galen. I mean, it's gotten better here. The government here still controls what internet companies you can have here, what cell phone companies, what type of cell phones you. I mean, you're never going to see Qualcomm in this area ever again. You're never going to see other companies, and I don't know what their actual objection is to these companies, but they're on a list that my wife gets every year because she has a government clearance that we're not allowed to have these certain cell phones. We're not allowed to have these internet providers or home, television providers. There's a list that they print every year. We usually get it, about the first, right there, the first week of January. Will, did you ever watch the movie Brazil? I'm not entirely sure if I have, Francie. No, California is not good anymore, except maybe the weather. Mm. Any other here, or am I the only one from Canada? No, Cat, you're not the only one from up north. They may not be here in the chat right now talking, but they're definitely people who are here from well, one person I know is probably listening, and she's from Nova Scotia. But I haven't seen her comment this morning, but she's usually just here listening. She listens while she works. So the Great White North. Well, you know, Suzanne, her husband Josh killed her. Then he got the two boys right in front of the CPS worker, wouldn't let her in, blew the boys up using a hatchet to kill them, than himself. Mm. Well, I haven't dove into the case, Pippadot. I mean, I'm familiar with who Suzanne Powell is, the name, but I should have said that to be more clear. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it is 9 o'clock. I need to wrap up this, morning coffee brew. I was a hilarious sci-fi comedy about the government, heavy-handedness. I'll have to look into that. Francie was married to Josh Powell. He's really nutbag. He took his life and his son's life. Suzanne is still missing. So everyone, thank you again for being here this morning. Again, I'm sorry I couldn't get into my Google Docs to do the slideshow for this morning's news in recap, but it's life. The life of the internet. Sometimes these things just don't work. I'm probably not capitalizing one of the letters or putting that special font in my password that it's going to come to me later on, and I'm going to go, oh yeah, that's what it was. But either way, I'm sorry about that, but I hope that everyone has a wonderful week ahead. Don't forget, tomorrow night at 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, we play live trivia right here on YouTube. You can also catch us on Twitter, Facebook, Twitch, Discord, and any of those platforms all at the same time, 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. We are playing trivia. Got a little bit of a tweak to the trivia going forward. So make sure you tune in on time to catch the beginning part of it, so it'll all make sense. But I hope to see you all then. In the meantime, everyone have a great day today, and you all stay safe out there. Bye.